What's going on YouTube? In this video, I'm gonna give you 3 tips on how you can generate leads for your wholesale business right now. Keep watching. All right, so you wanna be a wholesaler and you don't have any money to get mentored, or you don't have any money for a lead list, or you don't have any money for mail, or you don't have any money to send text messages or hire a VA, you're just broke, but you really wanna try this, right? So what could you do? Well, I'm gonna give you 3 ideas right now in this video that you can actually put into practice that can help you get a deal today. So, first and foremost, I have to give this out as my first piece of advice because it was how I got my first deal. And I would go to Zillow.com and I would look at all of the for rent by owners. I would reach out to anyone that has a listing that is representing themselves, so not having their rental being listed by a real estate agent, but they're actually doing it themselves. And you'll know that it's a personal property manager because it won't have a real estate agent's license information there. It's not gonna have like Berkshire Hathaway or Sotheby's or whatever, Remax. It's not gonna be listed by an agent. They typically have to put that information in an advertisement. It'll just be listed by somebody named Doug or Amy or whatever, just like a personal, like a regular person. I would call them and I would let them know that, hey Doug, I just saw that you have a property listed on Zillow, and I was wondering if you had any problem tenants that may be destroying properties of yours or maybe not paying rent that you'd be interested in possibly selling. The reason why I don't want you to go after them and try to see if they'll sell you the one that they have available right now is because most likely, if it's a fresh for rent by owner, they're gonna wanna wait it out and see if they can actually rent the place. But most landlords have more than one property. And a lot of times they can't actually list the property that's their biggest headache. And remember, as wholesalers, our job is to solve headaches, right? We are Tylenol for landlords. So you wanna call them and you wanna say, hey, where's your headache and can I solve that headache? The second thing I want you to do is search the MLS for any properties that have been on the market for 60 days or longer. I used to say 90 days or longer, but now 60 because we're in the hottest real estate market in the history of the United States. And I think if a property's been listed on the market for 60 days or more, it's very likely overpriced. Now, a lot of times when a property is overpriced, the reason it is because it could be upside down, so it means that the mortgage that they have on that property is higher than what they actually need to sell the property for, and so that's why they're having a hard time selling it, or the real estate agent just gave their homeowner a completely out to lunch value on what they could sell the house for because they wanted to get the listing. So that second one we don't care about because that whole listing situation was based off of a lie. And so yes, you could possibly help them, but I don't know that the real estate agent is going to be very helpful to you because they're the ones who lied to the homeowner in the first place, right? So they're not going to want to bust themselves. But those opportunities where maybe a homeowner just doesn't have enough equity to have listed lower and their property is not in the best condition, and you'll see that when you have a property that's been listed at or near ARV, but it hasn't been remodeled, a lot of those properties are gonna fall into this category. So how do you turn those into a deal? You're gonna probably think right now, Jamil, you're crazy. You want me to call that person? They don't have any equity in their house. Who's gonna wanna buy it? Well, that is when you wanna employ creative financing. As you guys know, I have my best friend, Pace Morby, who in my opinion is the best creative finance person in the entire country, and I get to hear him talk about it all the time. And I can see how he can turn those leads where there's zero or negative equity in a deal into an owner finance or a subject to deal and actually turn that into a wholesale fee. So I would call those real estate agents and I would ask them, hey, do you think your seller would be open to terms on this property? I noticed that it's been available for 60 days or more and you're not able to sell it. What if we could give them seller financing terms? Or would your seller be open to giving us seller finance terms or owner financing the property or giving it to us subject to if we could actually meet them at this price, which seems to be a little bit high. Oftentimes, sellers that are in that situation will actually entertain that because they don't have a choice. And so this is an opportunity for you to get a deal like that under contract and sell it to somebody who might be an end user or maybe wants to turn it into a rental or an Airbnb, and equity really isn't all that important to them. So that's the second way that you can go out and get a wholesale fee right now without having any money. And then the third thing that I'd like you to do to go out and try to find a wholesale deal right now is look at your emails and see if you've been getting deals from other wholesalers. Now, before you get too crazy, I'm not gonna tell you to go knock on those doors, but what I am gonna say is you want to collect emails from wholesalers and give them about 60 days of seasoning before you actually go and see what happened with those deals. You see, a lot of times what happens is I'll see an email from a wholesaler and they'll be trying to sell a property, and then I'll follow up with that by checking the tax record to see if that property actually sold. Now, oftentimes what happens is the property didn't. The wholesaler was unsuccessful in actually wholesaling the deal, and the homeowner still owns that house. But you know that they're ready to sell because they did actually go under contract one time before. So now is the time for you to actually do some homework. What you want to do is you want to see, is that property still owned by the original homeowner? Has the title transferred? If not, you want to comp that deal. If you don't know how to comp a deal, check the description in this video, because we're going to actually put the video how to comp like a pro, where I teach you how to comp a house. Or you want to come to my Sunday show, Straight Outta Compin, where Emily and I will comp your deals for you, and you want to make sure that you actually know the appropriate number to put that deal under contract for. So now that you have a house, now that you have comped that house and you know what price you want to offer that homeowner, you want to go to batchleads.io/Jamil, set up an account there and skip trace that property so you can get that homeowner's phone number. Then you just want to call them. And you want to have your number ready so that when they do answer the phone, you can tell them exactly what you could pay for their house. Now guys, 9 out of 10 people are probably not going to be able to sell at the number that you want, but 1 out of 10 of them might. And that is gonna be your wholesale deal. These 3 strategies will cost you nothing but your sweat equity. So get out there, guys. Don't let not having any money or not having the capacity to get into a mentorship stop you from getting out there and doing your first wholesale deal. My first wholesale deal was a for rent by owner, and I made $48,000 on that first transaction, and that changed my life. Not only did it change my life, but the thousands of people that have come after me, that have learned from me, it's changed their lives as well. So you owe it to yourself, you owe it to your family, and all the people that have come after you to get out there and actually try this business model. Those 3 tips could be your next or your first wholesale transaction. If you got any value from this video, do me a favor and like and subscribe my channel. Also, leave me a comment in the comment section, because I love reading your comments and I want to respond to them, and I want to get to know who the people that watch my YouTube channel are. And I will see you guys in the next video.